Alright, ladies and gentlemen, come in and sit down. Thank you very much. Eyes on me and my partner up here. Alright, thank you. So, this is our continuation of our meetings we've had about our plan to go out west. And so, me and my partner are going to give you a little presentation of our knowledge of the trail that we're going to be going on. We're going to go on the Mormon Trail because you people want to go to the Salt Lake Valley. You don't want to go to California or Oregon Trail, but the Salt Lake Valley. Me and my partner have been there, and we're going to take you. So, we're going to introduce ourselves. My name is Brandon Newsom, and this is my partner,
Kelsey Paul.
and we're going to take you out west. And so to start off here with our map, we're going to show you a little bit first about the Mormons. And I know we've talked a little bit about them before and their beliefs, but we're just going to give you a quick overview to help us understand our neighbors, because that's who is in the Salt Lake Valley. That is the Mormons. So our first location on the map is Sharon, Vermont. So we're going to go there right now. We're going to zoom in. Alright. This place is significant because it is the birthplace of the Mormon's prophet, Joseph Smith, Jr. He was born here on December 23rd, 1805. Cold winter. And this is his portrait of him. We don't have any actual pictures of him that we can look at, but this is an artist's rendition based off description. So Joseph Smith was born here in Sharon, Vermont, in a log cabin, but that cabin has since been destroyed, and so instead, right now, in the modern times, we have monuments here, so the LDS people can come see them. This is a photograph of the monument, and we have two more. Here's another view of it in the summer and in the winter. And so, I just wanted to show you this because Joseph Smith got his start here. His family soon moved to New York, where he started his church, and it grew popular. As the church was persecuted, the saints moved more and more west, almost to the outskirts of the United States at the time, in Missouri. And they would like to have settled there, but then they were driven out once again and had to go to Nauvoo. And Nauvoo is, I know, where we're currently at right here, right now, and it was the first start on our trail west. So we're going to head there right now, beautiful city of Nauvoo. Here we are, jumping. Nauvoo is located in Illinois. It was originally called Commerce, and it was this swampy city. A lot of people got sick from malaria because of the mosquitoes, and it was actually not a very good environment when the saints were pushed there. But the saints built it up and made this beautiful place. They lived there happily for several years, and then the persecution returned. As you can see in this photograph, the prophet Joseph Smith was killed by a mob here and some of the other leaders of the church. And that was a very sad time for the saints, and their next leader, Brigham Young, had decided at that point to take them west to live in a place where they could live out their religion in peace. And so, because the saints had built this beautiful city, they had built a temple to their god, and this is the temple. It is the Nauvoo Temple. It's quite a beautiful structure at the time, and the saints had worked very hard, so it was really sad when they were driven out of their homes. And this next picture shows them being driven out of their homes, and they were actually driven out during the middle of the winter, as you can see, in terrible conditions. So we're going to take a quick 360 look at this modern-day city of Nauvoo to get kind of a view of what it looks like nowadays. And I especially want you to pay attention to the view as the temple was destroyed and then recently rebuilt. And they tried to do it as exact as possible to the old temple. And so we're going to try to get this to work here to get that 360. Alright, so we've jumped now into our 360 view there. And this is a picture of the modern-day temple. As you can see, compared to that picture, it's very similar. And this is, as you can also see, a very beautiful city. And it's very green. The saints worked very hard to build up their home here. And we're going to see very shortly some statues. Here they are. And this is a statue, I believe, of the prophet Joseph Smith and his brother, Hiram. And they were both killed by that mob. So this is a statue commemorating them in their fair city. And so, because Nauvoo was the starting point on the trail, we're now going to measure the distance between the starting point and the ending point of Salt Lake to see how far away that Salt Lake was and how long the journey might have taken. So we're going to go up here to our toolbar to the measuring, and we're going to measure from Salt Lake all the way back to Nauvoo, which right there. Thank you, Miss Poff. I appreciate that. And oh, as you can see, it's a little over 1,000 miles. So that was a journey of several months, a long, long time. So next, we're going to go to the first stop on the trail after Nauvoo, and Miss Poff is going to tell you about that place. It's called Winter Quarters.
Okay, class, now we are going to the winter quarters, as you can see. This was located in the state of Nebraska, and it was established in 1846 by the Saints. As we go in here, we can see a picture. This is a picture of winter quarters, and this is where the Saints came. They had to establish a place because the traveling conditions were too rough to continue on towards Salt Lake City at that time. As Miss Newsom told you, they had to leave the city of Nauvoo in the winter time, so there were really harsh conditions. So this is where they set up. Right here we can see a map of the winter quarters and how it was set up. Just give it one moment. As you can see, there are 23 different sections. As we zoom into one of these sections, we can see that these buildings were separated by roads, so it was basically just like their own little city that they could use to wait. This helped the Saints when they were trying to resupply, and they stopped here, and many Saints were sick here, so it was a good place for the Saints to just stop and get ready for the rest of their journey. Now, we will see a statue. This is representing the winter quarters and the wonderful people who lived there and who eventually were able to move on and move to the Salt Lake City Valley. Now we will continue on to Fort Laramie. I'll travel over here very quickly. Fort Laramie is the third stop on the trail to Salt Lake City. It was originally built in the 1830s as a fur trading post. We are going to hear from my comrade, Mr. Tubby, and he will tell us a little bit about Fort Laramie. Thank you, Mr. Tubby. We would listen to all of this during our actual lesson. For the purpose of this video, we're going to continue on our journey. We will see here. This is a modern day picture of Fort Laramie. Now, we're going on for traveling. Well, now we will go on to Salt Lake City.
Alright, so we just left Fort Laramie, but before we go on to our final destination of Salt Lake, we're going to take a quick look at this here map that we put over our modern map of the United States. Now, this is a map from 1846, and as you can see, it's very different from our modern day map. First of all, there's not nearly so many states. They're mostly territories, and they're much bigger areas. As you can see, we have California, is the big pink area, and we have Oregon up there is the yellow, and there's Mexico right there. So the Saints had actually left the United States as they were traveling to go to Salt Lake City. And the reason they didn't go to California and Oregon with all the rest of those folks is that they wanted their own place alone where they could worship, because they had been persecuted in the past. So now we're going to go to their final place, the Great Salt Lake, where you guys hope to settle, and where we're going to take you. So we're going to zoom in here on Salt Lake, the final destination on our trail. It's been a couple months and over 1,000 miles, as we know. So we're going to go to Salt Lake City. And Miss Poff here is going to tell you about the monument that is there today.
This is the very top of the monument. As we see here, these are some of the leaders of the church. This front one is Brigham Young and other leaders as well. And this is how they probably looked as they were looking over the valley for the first time, and they were realizing that this was the place that they were trying to come. We'll take a closer and larger view of this monument. Possibly. It's beautiful blue.
I like it blue. It's better that way.
Very blue and highlighted. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, but as we can see, it's a lovely monument, and it pays tribute to these wonderful men who found the Utah Valley. Let's watch a little clip about them finding this place. Once again, we're going to stop and not watch the whole thing of this video, but this is told from the perspective of Brigham Young as he comes into the valley.
Alright, and so our last video we would show you is some Pioneer girls playing a game, and we would do that to help you guys see how the Pioneer girls are very similar to how you were then. Alright, and then next class we're going to talk about the Saints that live in the valley.